Brahmanda Purana, chapter 26, verses 9 and 10. So here, before I recite these verses, the story, this chapter begins actually where Vishnu is reclining on Adisesha, and all the devas come and glorify Indra and Brahma and other devas like Agni, Varuna, Vayu. They come and glorify him. Oh Vishnu, you are saving. Whenever we come across any issues with the demons, you only save us. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, my Lord. They come and give a thank you note to Vishnu, and then Vishnu says, oh dear Devatas, I am able to kill the demons only by the grace of another personality. I have attained Siddhatva. He says, Yaksrishta sarva bhutanam kalah kalakarah prabhuhu yenaham brahmana sardham srishta lokascha mayaya tasyaiva cha prasadena adau siddhatvam puratamasi chavyakte trailokye grasite maya. See, I have attained Siddhatva. He identifies himself to be a Siddha, Vishnu, to the Devatas. I have attained Siddhatvam, Siddhatvam agataha. I have attained Siddhatva due to the grace of that Lord. I have attained prosperity by the grace of that Lord. I have acquired Lakshmi by the grace of that Lord. I have acquired Vaikuntapati. I have acquired the post of Vishnu by the grace of that Lord. He is the creator of all beings, who is the personification of the destructive principle, who is the maintainer of the entire universe, who is the Lord and cause of time. See, Kala Kala, Mahakala, Kantakala. That is what our Mahadeva is. He is the cause of time. Time doesn't affect Mahadeva alone. It affects Brahma, Vishnu and Indra. It doesn't affect Mahadeva. That's why Vishnu says he is the Lord and cause of time. Lord of time, cause of time. By whom the worlds and I have been created. All the worlds, including me and Brahma, it has been created by him, by means of his Maya. It says, and then he recounts the story. Oh, dear Devatas, you will understand his greatness if I recount a beautiful, wonderful story where myself and Brahma were bound by Ahankara. And the same story he recounts where Brahma and Vishnu were fighting, himself and Brahma were fighting, and then Mahadeva came in the form of an Agni Stambha. Now here the point, very beautiful verse comes here. Brahmanda Purana, chapter 26, verse 21. Tasya jwalasya madyetu pashyavo vipula prabham pradesha matram avyaktam lingam paramatiptimat. What does it say? It appeared in the size of a span. Very important point to be noted. Angushtamatra purushontaratma sadajananam kritaye sannivishtaha kridamanisha manasa viklipto ya etad viduramritaste bhavanti. Shvetashpatra Upanishad. He is in the size of a thumb. So they encounter Brahma and Vishnu, encounter Mahadeva in the size of a span initially, and then he grew in size. There are lots and lots of things to be learnt in this Lingodbhava episode, which matches exactly with the Vedanta. He comes in the size of a span, in the size of a thumb in front of them, and then he increased in size. And that is why the Vedas, Upanishads say Angushta Shvetashpatra Upanishad and Kathopanishad. It says, and then in the size of a span, and then it says Jwala. Jwalamala sagasradayam vismayam paramadbhutam mahata tejasa yuktam vardhamanam prisham tata. See, Adbhutam again comes very often. Adbhutam, 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 again and again. Wonderful. Shiva Mahapurana says that, Brahmanda Purana says that, Devi Bhagavatam says that. Every Purana this word is used. Adbhutam also comes in the Kaivalya Upanishad. Wonderful, magnanimous. With awe and reverence, we have to worship Mahadeva. He is described as wonderful, Adbhutam. Jwalamala. Jwalamala kulam bhati vishvasyayatanam mahat. Upanishad say. He is described as Jwalamala. He appeared in the form of in the size of a span, and then he increased in size. Agni Stambha. It is described that fire sparkles came out. Thousands of sparks came out of that Agni Stambha, and that is how he is residing in the heart also. The heart is described, how Mahadeva is described in the heart. And then finally it goes on to say, Radhakam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham. See, that's how Mahadeva's form should be meditated within the linga. That linga represents his anantatva, infiniteness. But Mahadeva has a divine spiritual form, which is indestructible. He is there in that form in Parakailasha. That is the Moola Murti of everything. Nagalinga Garu says that. So, we saw that, I think, many examples where Vishnu meditated on a Jyoti. Initially, he meditated on a Jyoti in his heart, and then Mahadeva appeared in front of him and said, "Your knowledge is incomplete, O Vishnu." And then he eats the sacred ash, he bathes with the sacred ash. This shows how important the sacred ash is for understanding Shiva Tattva. He eats and bathes with the sacred ash, and then he meditates on Mahadeva, and then he realizes, and then he looks at the beautiful form, divine form of Mahadeva, and then he falls at the feet of Mahadeva. And then his knowledge becomes complete. Meditating on the form of Mahadeva, when he meditates on the form of Mahadeva, his knowledge becomes complete. And likewise, when Mahadeva appeared as an Agni Stambha, and then to shower grace on them, he appeared with a beautiful spiritual form, Shuddha Spatika Sankasham Trinetram Panchavaktarakam, with Parashakti sitting in the left lap. And that's what our Upanishads also describe. First, that Arupa aspect is described, and then the divine spiritual form is described. See, Hritpundarikam, the 5th verse of Kaivalya Upanishad says, Hritpundarikam Virajam Vishuddham Vichintya Madhye Vishadam Vishokam Achintyam Avyaktam. He is Achintyam, he is Avyakta, he is Ananta, infinite. He has no beginning and no middle and no end. Achintyam Avyaktam Anantarupam Shivam Prashantam Amritam Brahma Yonim Tam Adimadhya Anta Vihinamekam Vibhum Chidanantarupam Adbhutam. Who is that personality who is described like this? The next verse replies, Umasahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum. The qualities are described of that, characteristics and divine attributes of that divine personality is described. Parameshwaram Prabhum Trilochanam Neelakantam Prashantam. And that's what Kailasa Shikam. In the Shiva Sankalpa Suktam also it describes Vishvatas Chakshuruta Vishvato Mukho. That personality's face is present as this entire universe. That personality's legs and hands are present as this entire universe. Who is that personality? Kailasa Shikarabhasa Himavadgiri Kanyakaha. One who is eternally in Parakailasha. One who is eternally with that daughter of the mountains. And who is described as Neelakanta and Trinetra. Three-eyed, and who is blue-throated. And likewise in the Upanishads, when it describes Jwalamala Kulambati Vishwasyayatanam Mahat Santatakam Shilabistu Lambatya Kosha Sannibam. And finally, it describes the Arupa aspect of Maheshwara, and then finally it says, who is that personality? Radhakam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham Krishna Pingalam Urdvaretam Virupaksham Vishwarupaya Vai Namo Namaha. He is described as Krishna Pingala. He is described as Urdvareta. He is described as three-eyed Virupaksha. See? This is how our, so that's why it is important to meditate on the form of Parashakti and Paramashiva within the linga. And that's where here it says, Jwala Mala Sagasradayam. Thousands and thousands of sparks are coming from that Agni Stambha. Brahma and Vishnu are envisioning that. And then we were surprised and frightened of that great soul, and we were deluded by the Maya of that great being. No one can cross Shiva Maya. Vishnu says that. Until and unless one surrenders to Mahadeva. Mayam tu Prakritim Vidyam, Mayinam tu Maheshwaram. 4:10. Shvetashvatara Upanishad. And then we meditated. And then he says we meditated on the Lord. Tato dhyana ratau tatra cheshwaram sarvato mukam prabhavam nidanam chaiva lokanam prabhum avyayam. We meditated on that personality who has the faces, who has the hands and legs everywhere. Sarvato mukam. Vishvatas Chakshuruta Vishvato Mukho. His face is present as this universe. His eyes are present as this universe. So we meditated on that divine personality, Vishnu says. And then Mahadeva appeared in front of us, and then he blessed us. And Vishnu explains this to the Devas, and it is by his grace only I have acquired prosperity. I am able to kill the demons, O dear Devas. He says that. Moving on, Kurma Puranam, chapter 1, verse 9. The same story is encountered here. The same story is told here where like the question is different, because in the previous Purana that we saw, Brahmanda Purana, chapter 26, where the Devas come to Vishnu and ask about Shiva Paratvam, and they glorify him, and Vishnu says that Mahadeva is the only object of glorification. And Kurma Puranam, chapter 1, verse 9, here the question is different by the sages. Oh dear they address Vishnuji. Oh dear Vishnuji. Mahadeva is described as Purvam. Purvajaya cha parajaya cha namo madhyamaya cha pakalpaya cha namo. Rudram says that. He is described as Purvam. He was there before you and Brahma. At the same time, he appears from Brahma's forehead as Kala Rudra, and sometimes from your forehead as Kala Rudra. So how is that? Please explain this. The question is different, and Vishnu recounts the same story. Oh dear, I have acquired Mahatvam, I have acquired the prosperity and everything by the grace of that Maheshwara. And he recounts the story in Kurma Puranam, chapter 1, verse 9. And both of them are bound by Ahankara, the same story, where Brahma and Vishnu search for the beginning and end of Mahadeva. Both are bound by Ahankara, and then they sing the stutis. And then they realize that, okay, the personality behind this Agni Stamba is he is the only object of meditation according to the Veda Vedanta. And then Mahadeva is residing in the heart of all the living entities. It's described, chapter 9, Canto 1, chapter 9, verse 66. Omkaram samanusmritya samstabhyatmanam atmana atarvashirasa devam tushtavacha kritanjalihi. Now, when realization comes, okay, when the Jivatma realizes, oh, Mahadeva is the source of all the living entities, Mahadeva himself within the heart, he is residing in the heart, right? Asmin Brahmapure Veshma Dakharam Yadidam Mune Pundarikam tu Tanmadye Akasho Dakharostitat. He is present, he is residing in the Hridaya Kasha, Dahara Kasha. Hridamanisha Manasa Viklipto Ya Etad Viduramrita Aste Bhavanti. All the Upanishads describe him to be residing in the Hridaya. Devanagam Hridayebhyo. He is residing in the hearts of the Devas also. So Brahma and Vishnu realize that. And then Mahadeva himself reveals himself from the heart, and then they start reciting the Omkaram, they start reciting the Atharva Shiras mantras. They were bound by Ahankara. When they realize, oh, this personality who is behind this Agni Stamba is the only object of meditation, then Mahadeva gives them the true knowledge. Because Brahma and Vishnu are also Jivatmas, and he gives that knowledge to them, and then they start reciting the Atharva Shira mantras. Atharva Shirasa Devam Dushtavacha Kritanjalihi. We saw that Atharva Shiras Upanishad mentioned 100 times. 100 references are there in the Dharma Shastras, Artha Shastras, Puranas, Itihasas, sung only for Mahadeva, not anyone else. Very important Upanishad. Apart from Rudram and Panchabrahma mantras, Atharva Shiras Upanishad is very, very important. One can check the 3 lectures that I have given on Atharva Shiras Upanishad in my channel. And then Brahma and Vishnu fall at the feet of Mahadeva. Mahadeva appears in his Shuddha Spatika Sankasha form, his divine form, supreme divine spiritual form, indestructible, avyayam, limitless form, avyaya, imperishable. We are vyaya. Vyaya means perishable. Avyaya means imperishable. In his imperishable divine form, along with Parashakti sitting in the left lap, he appears. And then Brahma and Vishnu say, Esha eva varah shlagyo yadaham parameshwaram pashyami paramatmanam bhaktir bhavatu me tvayi. If there is something that you want to give us, Brahma and Vishnu say to Mahadeva, give us unflinching devotion to your lotus feet, O Mahadeva. That is what? Brahmaro Bhranti Vihayastu Sunishchalaha. Vishnu says, Sarva Karmasu Sarvatra Tvameva Shashishekara. Whatever activities I do, I have to do Samarpanam to you only, O Shashishekara. Shashishekara, one of the beautiful names. And I have to keep seeing Bhavanya Sahitam Tvantu. I have to see, I have to envision you along with Bhavani Mata eternally, everywhere, wherever I do, whatever I do, whatever activities I do. And I have to do that Samarpanam of those activities to you only. And Brahmaro Bhranti Vihayastu Sunishchalaha. He says, let my mind cease to wander. It is like a black bee. Everyone's mind is like a black bee. Why? Vishnu compares the mind to a black bee because the black bee keeps wandering here and there. One time it thinks of girlfriend, and another time it thinks of US, Switzerland, and then it thinks of mother, father. But our mind doesn't have the time for thinking about the cause of all causes, Mahadeva and Parashakti. We don't have time for that. And then So he says, let my mind cease to wander like a black bee and wait for the honey that is Brahmaro, Brahmarambika Sameta, Mallikarjunaya Namaha, Brahmarambika Sameta, Shri Shaileshwaraya Namaha, Brahmarambika, Brahmara means honey. Let me wait, let me wait for the honey that is coming from your feet. Let me wait to drink the honey that is coming out of your feet, oh my dear Mahadeva. Vishnu and Brahma says that. So just unflinching devotion to your feet, that's what I need. And Kurma Purana, moving on. Again, see, the story is recounted twice or thrice sometimes in the Puranas, other Puranas. Like Kurma, Vayu, Brahmanda itself talks 3 to 4 times about the story. So we saw Kurma Puranam, Canto 1, Chapter 9. Again, Kurma Puranam, Canto 1, Chapter 26. Krishna goes to Kailasha to worship Mahadeva. And then he has the divine vision of Mahadeva. Where Mahadeva is described, Upamanyu had the divine vision of Mahadeva. He just worshipped Mahadeva, and then Mahadeva appeared in the center along with Parashakti and the Shiva Ganas, all the Koti Rudras, and along with Nandi and Ganapati and Kartikeya. Not only them, to the left Lakshmi and Vishnu on Garuda singing Rudradhyaya. To the right Saraswati and Brahma on the swan, singing Rudradhyaya to Mahadeva. Upamanyu worshipped only Mahadeva, and all these personalities came to bless him. Likewise, Krishna also did the same thing, and then he had the vision of Brahma, Vishnu also worshipping Mahadeva and Parashakti in the center. And then Krishna goes back to Dwaraka, and then Markandeya comes there. And then he questions Krishna, and then he glorifies Krishna, and Krishna says, Navai pashyanti tam devam mayaya mohita janaha tatoham swatmano moolam nyapayan pujayami tam. People who are deluded by Maya, they do not worship Maheshwara. Maheshwara is my Lord. He is the Lord of everything, including me. People who are in Maya, Mayam to Prakritam Vidya Mayinam to Maheshwaram. His Maya cannot be won over by anybody. Krishna says to Markandeya. And then, if you want to win over Maya and transcend the repeated cycles of birth and death, just surrender only to him. And Krishna says, he is my original cause. Sa esha Rudra Bhaktascha Keshavo Rudra Sambhavaha, Drona Parvam, 172nd chapter. Keshavo Rudra Sambhavaha. Keshava originated from Mahadeva. Vishnu originated from Mahadeva. Mahadeva alone is described as birthless, beyond the repeated cycles. He is not affected by birth, old age, disease or death. From the blade of a grass till Vishnu, everything is bound by birth, old age, disease and death. He recounts the story to glorify Mahadeva. He recounts, Krishna recounts the story of Mahadeva, where himself as Vishnu, Brahma and Vishnu were searching for the beginning and end of Mahadeva to Markandeya. And then he also says, Tatoham Atmam Ishanam Pujayamyatmanaivatat. I worship that Mahadeva in the Linga form as my own Paramatma. You see, it is told here in the 26th chapter, 59th verse, Kurma Puranam, first canto. Also it is mentioned in the Vamana Puranam, which is recounted again by Shripati Panditaradhya and also Nagalinga Garu. Swagrit Pankajashayinam Darshayamasa Devana Murari Lingamaishwaram. When the Devas, after doing so much Shiva Puja, they were not able to see Mahadeva, and they asked Vishnu. And Vishnu said, look at my chest, oh Devas, look at my heart. And then they saw the resplendent shining Linga, Swagrit Pankajashayinam, in his heart. And they saw Parashakti and Paramashiva within that Linga. So that's what here Krishna also says to Markandeya, he is my Paramatma. I worship him eternally. And then he recounts the story where Vishnu and Brahma search for the beginning and end, and then they sing a beautiful Ashtakam. It comes in the Kurma Puranam. We can take up that Ashtakam also. The Ashtakams, and also there are beautiful praises of Shiva sung by Brahma and Vishnu in all the Puranas after their Ahankara is destroyed. This Ashtakam says, Namak Shivaya Shantaya Brahmane Lingamurtaye. It ends by saying, Anadi Moola Samsara Rage Vaidyaya Shambhave Namak Shivaya Shantaya Brahmane Lingamurtaye. It goes on for 8 verses. There are beautiful 8 verses. They say that Anadi Mula, you are Adi Anadi there, you are not bound, you don't have a beginning and end. And Samsara Roga, you are the remover. For a person who is floating in the repeated cycles of birth and death, you are actually, you are that personality who can transcend them. You can remove that. You are the awarder of mukti. You are the giver of moksha. That's why Vaidyaya. It says Vaidyanatha. Vaidyanatha. Right? So, we are floating in the repeated cycles of birth and death, the jivas. Until the jiva comes to the conclusion that Pashupati is my Lord. Pashu is the jiva and Pashupati. When the Pashu surrenders to the Pati, then it gets repeated, then it gets liberated from the repeated shackles, repeated cycles of birth and death. Beautiful Ashtakam, we can see that in the coming classes. And moving on, Vayu Puranam, chapter 24. And here a different, because Kalpabedam, right? Kalpabedam is there. So the story is recounted in different Puranas and different scenarios are explained. In this chapter, it is described, Brahma and Vishnu were there, and Brahma actually claims that he is the supreme, and Vishnu also claims the same thing. And Brahma says, oh Vishnu, if you want to actually, you can enter my body and see how infinite I am. And Vishnu enters the body of Brahma. And then he looks at all the worlds within the body of Brahma. And then Vishnu comes out. And Vishnu says, you can also do the same thing. Brahma, oh, you can enter my body. And Brahma enters the body and he also sees all the worlds within the body of Vishnu. And then what Vishnu does is that he closes all the pores in his body so that Brahma cannot come out. And then Brahma, he doesn't know what to do, and then he found a hole in the umbilicus, That's why Brahma comes out of the navel of Vishnu. It is described, right? But how? Because Vishnu closes all the pores on his body and then Brahma doesn't find a way and he comes out from the navel of Vishnu. It is told in this Vayu Puranam chapter 24. And then both of them fight together. How can you close all the pores on your body? Are you trying to play with me? Brahma says to Vishnu. And then both of them fight together. And then the third person. And then they come to an agreement. Okay, so let's not fight together. We both are the lords of the entire universe. There is no one apart from us. Vishnu and Brahma say that. And so this is a different story because in the Kalpa Vedam is there. Different Kalpas, this story is explained. But ultimately the Tatparyam of the story is that Mahadeva is the supreme. Sharanagati to Mahadeva alone will transcend the jiva from the repeated cycles of birth and death. But it's told in a different ways. And then Brahma and Vishnu come to a conclusion, okay, fine. Yeah, so we are the supreme lords of the entire universe. And then the third person, he walks in. Mahadeva. Usually third person, they will say in Tamil Nadu, Moonavada Manishan. A third person is described as someone who is not a part of the family, who doesn't have any relationship. So, a third person is sometimes described as a discarded person. So, we have kept Mahadeva, we have kept Mahadeva, we have considered Mahadeva as our third person for crores and crores of lifetimes. So, let's consider him, let's give importance to Mahadeva and then keep him, worship him with the priority and then to get liberated from the repeated cycles of birth and death. So, the third person comes and then Mahadeva, he says, Asman Mahattaram Guhyam Bhutamanyanna Vidyate Mahatah Paramam Dama Shivam Avyat Minam Padam. And then Brahma and Vishnu are totally confused. And then Vishnu actually realizes that this is nothing but Mahadeva, because in his heart, Mahadeva makes him understand that he is the supreme. Mahadeva is he is the supreme Lord. And then Vishnu realizes that. And then he explains to Brahma, oh Brahma, there is no other being that is greater than him. Brihadyascha Brihattaram, Brihatvat Brahmanatvat. We saw that yesterday. Shiva Mahapurana, Shiva says, I am Brihat. बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्वणे च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च. He is Agriya, Prathama, he is Brihat, he is the largest of the largest, and that's why Vishnu says to Brahma, there is no other greater personality, there is nothing that is greater than him. And also there is nothing that is subtle than him. He is the smallest of the smallest and the largest of the largest. That's why it says Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Anoraniyan, he is the smallest of the smallest. He is present in the heart of all the living entities, smallest of the smallest, and he is the largest of the largest. Brihate cha varshiyase. This comes in Drona Parvam also, where Narayana describes, after meditating for 66,000 years, he describes Mahadeva. Mahadeva and Parashakti come in front of him, and he describes Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Aniyamsam Brigadyascha Brigattaram Rudram Ishanam Vrishabam Chekitanam Ajam Dhruvam Ajam Param. You are the smallest of the smallest and you are the largest of the largest. That personality, who is Ishana, Mahadeva, Ambikapati, is in front of me. That's what Manusmriti also says. Manusmriti, chapter 12, verse 122. Prashasitaram sarvesham aniyamsam anorapi. And the same thing is told in the Kaivalya Upanishad. Anoraniyan Mahato Anoraniyan Ahameva Tadvan Mahanaham Vishwamaham Vichitram Puratanoham Purushoham Isho Hiranmayoham Shivarupamasmi. Hiranmaya. See, the Hiranya word comes very often. Kaivalya Upanishad also says that. And also it is described by Nandi also. Nandi also meditates on Mahadeva for crores and crores of years, and then Mahadeva appears, and then Mahadeva is described as the smallest of the smallest and the largest of the largest. And that's what Vishnu describes here to Brahma. And then he says, the region of the Lord, Mahatah Paramam Dama, the region of that Supreme Lord, Parakailasha, Mahakailasha, which is the highest of the highest worlds, which is beyond Brahmaloka, Indraloka, Vaikunta, Goloka, Skandaloka, Deviloka, which is the highest of the highest worlds. That is the goal of the spiritualists. You say, a spiritual person will have a goal to attain his loka. That's what Vishnu says. The region of the Lord is the goal of the spiritualists. It is the abode of bliss. Verse 69, chapter 24, Vayu Purana says that. And then Vayu Purana again, Canto 1, chapter 55, recounts the same story in a different way, because Kalpa Vedam, see, 2 or 3 times it is repeated in other Puranas. It is not just Shiva or Linga or Skanda Mahapurana talking about this story. All the Puranas talk about this. 2 or 3 times it is recounted. Vayu Purana, Canto 1, chapter 55, again recounts this story. And then moving on, in Linga Mahapuranam, Canto 1, chapter 17, the story is recounted. Brahma and Vishnu fight with each other, and then they search for the beginning and end of Mahadeva, and their Ahankara is crushed. And then they do stuti. That's why the first stuti that ever happens is for Mahadeva. The first stuti is done for Mahadeva alone. The stutis are there, the stotrams are there for Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, Parashakti, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Ganapati, Kartikeya, Veerabhadra, Kalabhairava. But the first stuti that ever happened is for Mahadeva, where Brahma and Vishnu recited that stuti. And that is recounted in almost all the Puranas. Different stutis, because in one stuti they describe the features of Mahadeva. You are that divine Parabrahmam, and you are the killer of Andakasura, you are the killer of Triparasura, and then you have the elephant hide as your garment, and man-lion skin as your garment, and then you have the Vasuki on your neck, and they describe the divine form. You are three-eyed, O Mahadeva, you are Bhima, you are Ugra, you are Baba, you are the creator, maintainer, destroyer. You put the jivas into illusion, Tirobhavam, and also you do Anugraham. So those stutis we can take it up in the coming classes. Very beautiful, mesmerizing stutis. And when we align that with what the Vedanta says, it is very, very wonderful. Adbhutam. Mahadeva is Adbhutam. So you will feel like I want to keep reading it again and again. Because every word, every verse aligns with the Vedantic purport, and only for Mahadeva Stutis. That is only for Mahadeva Stutis. So Linga Purana, Canto 1, chapter 17 recounts that. Again it is told in the Linga Mahapurana, Canto 2, chapter 18. Here, after actually their Ahankara is crushed, Brahma and Vishnu's Ahankara is crushed, Mahadeva says, take up Mahapashupata Vratam. Atharvashira says that, right? Agniriti Basma, Vayuriti Basma, Vyometi Basma, Jalameti Basma, Stalameti Basma. Do Basmadaranam. And wear Rudraksha Mala. And then do Lingadaranam. And then worship me. Practice the Mahapashupata Vrata as explained in the various Upanishads. That's why Atyashramam Pashupatam Shambhavam Tachiro Vratam Ityevam Namabih Punyair Nigamanteshu Giyate. Karanagamam chapter 1 verse 9 says that. Nagalinga Garu brings that, and also it is mentioned in the Vatula Agamam. Atyashramam mentioned in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad and Kaivalya Upanishad. Mahapashupatam mentioned in the Basmajabala Upanishad and Atharvashiras Upanishad. And then Shambhavam mentioned in the Kalagni Rudra Upanishad. Shirovratam mentioned in the Mundaka Upanishad. All these four are synonymous. What does it mean? Embellishing one's body with the holy ashes. 32 places Bhasma should be applied on the body. Bhakuta Agama states that, chapter 2. And then the holy ashes should be applied on the forehead. Tripundra, Rudraksha Mala, Linga Dharanam should be done under a proper authorized guru. And then worshipping Mahadeva in the heart, doing Smaranam of Mahadeva, doing Kirtanam of Mahadeva, hearing about Shiva Katha, Shravanam Kirtanam Shambhoho, relishing by meditating on the name, form, activities, pastimes, paraphernalia of Mahadeva, and also the characteristics and divine leelas of Mahadeva. That's how Shiva Mahapurana starts off. All the sages, Suta Maharshi says, one should focus. That is the only way the Jiva can be liberated. One should focus on these 6 things: name, form, activities, pastimes, paraphernalia, and divine attributes, divine leelas of Mahadeva. So practice the Mahapashupata Vrata, oh kids, Brahma and Vishnu. That's what he says. And moving on, so we have covered almost all the Puranas. Now Skanda and Shiva Mahapurana are remaining. So I wanted to keep this as last because Skanda Mahapurana and Shiva Mahapurana, no need to say. It is recounted, the story is recounted more than 100 times in Shiva Mahapurana. Every chapter, every Samhita it comes. And Skanda Mahapurana, Shiva Mahapurana is 24,000 verses. Skanda Mahapurana is 81,000 verses. So every chapter, every section of Skanda Mahapurana, it is mentioned. Arunachala Mahatmyam is an interesting thing that is mentioned in the Maheshwara Kandam. We can take that up. That is even more beautiful. Arunachala Aruna Asavyastamro Aruna Utabhabruswamangalaha Asavyo Vasatpati Nilagrivo Vilohitaha Namas Somaya cha Rudraya cha Namak Samraya cha Arunaya cha. See, Aruna word comes twice in Rudram. Arunachaleshwara. That is mentioned. Skanda Mahapurana talks about in detail. We can take that up. That is also talking about where Brahma and Vishnu fight in Ahankara and search for the beginning and end of Mahadeva Leela. And Skanda Mahapuranam, in the beginning, Maheshwara Kandam, within that the Kedara Kandam, chapter 7, talks about an interesting thing. So the story is recounted where the same story, Brahma takes the form of a swan, Vishnu takes the form of a pig, search for the beginning and end, and then their Ahankara is crushed by Mahadeva. And then Mahadeva says, in all the lokams, in all the upper worlds, a linga is there, and that is worshipped by those specific devatas. For example, there is a Brahmeshwara linga in the region of Brahma. There is a Sadashiva linga, Vishnaveshwara linga in the region of Vishnu, which is worshipped by Vishnu and which is worshipped by Brahma. Amareshwara linga, which is in the Swarga, which is worshipped by Indra. Varuneshwara linga in the city of Varuna, where Varuna worships it. And Nairiteshwara linga, where Niriti, the Devata Niriti worships it. Kaleshwara linga, where Yama worships it. Pavaneshwara linga, where Vayu worships it. Mrityu, and also in the Mrityu Lokam there is a Kedara linga, and as well as Amareshwara, where Mrityu Deva worships it. Omkara linga, as well as Mahakala in the Narmada region. Narmada is the holiest of all rivers. Why? Because she appears from the body of Mahadeva. That's what makes her holy. And Vishveshwara linga, Annapurna Sameta Kashi Vishveshwaraya Namaha, Kashi Visalakshi Sameta Kashi Vishveshwaraya Namaha, Vishwanatha. That Vishveshwara linga is present in Kashi. Now speaking of Kashi, 3 things it is described. One should have darshan of Kashi Vishveshwara for sure. And then one should take bath in Manikarnika. Manikarnika is described as even holier than Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Narmada, every river. Why? Because that is the place where Parashakti and Paramashiva bathed together. They had fun. They took bath together. There, Manikarnika, the holiest of all. There is nothing that is holier than Manikarnika, Kashi Kanda says. Even Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati are nothing. I just remembered about that. That is where Parvati Mata and Parameshwara took bath. So one should definitely visit that. One who visits Kashi should spend time in Anandavanam and also should have darshan of Kashi Vishveshwara and also to take bath in Manikarnika, which is the holiest of the holiest of the holiest rivers. And then beautifully the Kashi Kandam talks about 15,000 verses, and 15,000 verses the Kashi Kshetram is beautifully described in Skanda Mahapurana. Every Purana talks about the Kashi Kshetram. And then Trayambaka in Brahmagiri, Bhadreshwara in Kali, Draksharameshwara Lingam in the place of the union of Ganga with the ocean, and Someshwara in Saurashtra, Sarveshwara Linga on the Vindhya, Shikareshwara Linga on Sri Shailam. Okay, that's interesting to know. Mallalanatha in Kanti, Simhanatha in Singala, that is Simhala, and Virupaksha Linga, Koti Shankara, Tripurantaka, Bhimeshwara, Amareshwara, Bhogeshwara, Hatakeshwara. Very lingas, many lingas are spoken of, and every devata have actually linga in their region and they worship it with faith. From the blade of a grass till Vishnu, everybody worships that. And linga, as we see, is that arupa aspect of Maheshwara. One should meditate on the form of Mahadeva. That's why one should have a form. When we enter a Shiva temple, there is a linga as well as a Saguna Brahma form. In the Chidambar Nataraja temple, Nataraja himself is present in the Moolasthanam. Tyagaraja temple, he himself is present in the Moolasthanam. In other Shiva temples, in the Moolasthanam, linga is there that exhibits the arupa aspect of Maheshwara, and also there is a formed Mahadeva. Like Chidambar Nataraja, Ardhanarishwara, Uma Maheshwara, Panchamukha Parameshwara, Ekamukha Parameshwara, and Bhikshatana Murti. So these kind of forms are also there. So he is with a form, and also his that linga is that arupa aspect of that formed Maheshwara. Within the linga, one should meditate on that Parameshwara. That's what it says. And also, apart from that, in Skanda Mahapurana, it is also detailed in the Arunachala Mahatmyam. That is in the Maheshwara Kandam, 3rd section, Arunachala Mahatmyam. And also it is present in the many other places in Skanda Mahapurana, Nagara Kandam, Kashi Kandam, everywhere it is spoken of, where Brahma and Narayana's Ahankara is crushed by Mahadeva. And finally, Shiva Mahapurana. So we covered 9 chapters of Vidyeshwara Samhita in Shiva Mahapurana. We will be taking up the other chapters which talks about the glories of Bhasma, Rudraksha and Lingadharanam everywhere. We will be talking about that. But I wanted to just a little bit talk about this Mahatvam of Mahadeva. This Lingodbhava episode is not just in Shiva Mahapurana, it is also told in every Purana, everywhere. Even the Vedas described, there is a Skamba Suktam. There is a Suktam for Linga Suktam is there. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry. Nidanapataye namaha, Nidanapatantikaye namaha, Urdvaya namaha, Urdvalingaya namaha, Hiranyaya namaha, Hiranyalingaya namaha. Beautiful 22 names are described in the Linga, in the Vedas, where Linga Abhishekam should be done. And then finally, Shiva Mahapurana. I'll just give the final references in Shiva Mahapurana. I'll not go into the details, and then I'll close this class. Shiva Mahapurana in the first section, that is the Vidyeshwara Samhita chapter 7, we saw that. And Rudra Samhita section 1, it is spoken of in the 8th chapter, and it is spoken in the Vayaviya Samhita part 1 chapter 13, Vayaviya Samhita part 2 chapter 34. And also it is mentioned in many other places like Uma Samhita, Koti Rudra Samhita, Shatarudra Samhitas. All these Samhitas also talk about the Mahima of this Lingodbhava episode, Mahadeva crushing the Ahankara of Brahma and Vishnu. So this is present in all the Puranas, guys. All the Puranas, it is spoken of either directly or indirectly. So this lecture would definitely help in understanding that. And tomorrow Tomorrow will be even more interesting because I will be relating this Lingodbhava episode with another important thing, important practice in the Shaivite tradition. I'll keep that a secret. So please join tomorrow also. And then from day after tomorrow, we can continue with the 10th chapter of the Vidyeshwara Samhita, where the glories of Bhasma, Rudraksha, Shiva himself recounts that to Brahma and Vishnu. So I'll close this class by chanting the Kshama Prarthana mantra. Om yadaksharapadabhrishtam matraहीनं tu yadbhavet tatsarvam kshamyatam deva parameshwara namostute visargabindu matrani padapadaksharaणि च न्यूनानि च अतिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व परमेश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासो यमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व परमेश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष महेश्वरी अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष परमेश्वर एतत् सर्वं श्री उमा महेश्वर परब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु ललिताम्बिके साम्ब शिवार्पणमस्तु श्रीमती गौरी समेत साम्ब शिवार्पणमस्तु करचरणकृतं वाक्कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा अपराधं विहितम् अविहितं वा सर्वम् एतत् क्षमस्व जय जय करुणा अब्दे श्री महादेव शम्भो माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देवो महेश्वर बन्धवा शिवभक्तांश्च स्वदेशो भुवनत्रयं साम्ब शिवाय नमः साम्ब शिवाय नमः साम्ब शिवाय नमः हर ओं तत्सत्।